I got a little bit behind. So I am waiting on my beautiful wife. She'll be in here in just a minute. So we just got back from Georgia Bushcraft, and I'm gonna adjust this just a little bit. We just got back from Georgia Bushcraft and our mountain vacation, and we had a great time. So let me go ahead and try to get these comments up here so I can see them. Let's see. Hey, Robert Bell, I see you. Taylor Fillinger, Ed Chaos. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Bodier, I see you. Miss Deborah, good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. Eeyore's in the house. Taylor said nothing better than the mountains. So yeah, it's our favorite place to go. Carl Smith said, hey Sean. Pack Raft the World said, hey everyone. So you guys say hey back to Pack Raft the World. Yeah, so every year we start out our kind of anniversary, or the last few years I should say, we start out our anniversary vacation with our trip to Georgia Bushcraft Fall Gathering. You ready?
Yeah.
I think you might be able to make it around the backside. If not, you can come through here. You
can do it without knocking over the camera.
We start out with the Georgia Bushcraft Fall Gathering, and then from there we head up to the mountains. So this year we went to Fort Mountain State Park, and it was absolutely beautiful up there. So but I kind of wanted to start out this evening with a after action report kind of the Georgia Bushcraft. So Randy Beeson said every time wait, what did it say? I missed it.
I'm pulling it up.
You'll have to pull it up. So evening time, Sean and Sarah. Evening to you two. Cheers. I've got my my new Bearded Burton sticker on my drink cup here, and it's cool because it's glow in the dark. May have to try to figure out how to get us some glow in the dark stickers. That'd be cool. But Georgia Bushcraft, incredible event. We had a great time. I know I had a blast. Met so many cool people there. Took several really good classes. Just so much fun. The raffle is huge, hours long. The sponsors there really put in a ton to the raffle, and they really do a nice job. So before I get into I've got 11 things here from the Georgia Bushcraft thing. Did anybody here? I know that Bodier went. Did anybody else here? Were you able to make it to the Georgia Bushcraft thing? I know we had a great time. If you've never been, it's something you really should go to. There are just a ton of classes at the Georgia Bushcraft event, and like I took a 4 Principles of Survival with Craig Caudle. What was I just drew a blank. I took a core temperature class with Bearded Burton. I wanted to take the flint napping class, but when I went to it, the gentleman doing the flint napping class acted like he didn't even know he was supposed to be putting on a class. So I went and took a nap instead. But anyway, we had a really good time. Sarah took the candle making class, and that was a lot of fun. Of course, Sarah can't do anything just.
I have my candles.
She can't do anything just a little bit. So while everybody else just dipped the candle and made a candle, Sarah had to do a fancy candle. So Hike with Mike. Hey, I see you, buddy. He said, Hike with Mike said, a nap instead of flint napping. Yep, that's pretty accurate. I tried to go to the class, but like I said, the guy just acting like he didn't even know he was supposed to be having a class. So I'm not talking bad about anybody. It was just, that was the thing, and I just said, well, if he doesn't know he's got a class, then I probably shouldn't waste my time going. So,
They smell good.
so Sarah did these beeswax candles, but like I said, because Sarah is Sarah and she couldn't do just a candle, she actually formed her own bee, if you can see that. She formed her own bee and then dipped the wax over it. So the bee itself is just leftover beeswax. And she actually made a bee with her beeswax candle. So really funny.
Fun
Turned out
class.
really, really cool, and she had a lot of fun. And so that does tie into our my 11 things that I did, or the after action report for the Georgia Bushcraft. So we'll go ahead and get started into it. Number one is the event is getting bigger and bigger, and the spaces are getting tighter and tighter. So I think they said they had over 2,000 people registered this year, and that's a huge number. So that being the case, and that's not just campers, but that's campers and day use and all that stuff. But the spaces for camping are getting tighter and tighter. Let's see, who did I miss?
Tony.
Tony. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Miss Deborah.
Yep, I said hey to Miss Deborah. Miss Deborah said, so cool. So yeah, the spaces are getting tighter and tighter there. We got there on Thursday, and even on Thursday, it was starting to get full. So that's something to think about if you're going to go to the Thursday night. So that's something to think about if you're going to go to the fall gathering or maybe even the spring gathering this year. It's really getting popular. So to get a good spot, you're going to need to get there early. Hammock Mountain, I seen you. Hey there, how are you doing? And so number 2 on my list was, like, Sarah took that class, I took those classes. You need to bring a chair to the class. Bring a chair to the class. So there's, a lot of the classes are 45 minutes, an hour, or some of them are even longer than that. And that's just a little too long to want to just stand and hang around. So bring a chair to class, and it doesn't hurt to bring a notebook too, just to jot down little bits of information that you need to remember. The gentleman, I'm so sorry, the lady that did Sarah's class, that JT Stokes, there was, it was more than just a candle making class. There was history of candles. There was a ton of information there that she gave while she was teaching the class, which I thought was really cool. There was more than just the candle making. Yeah. So I thought that was really neat. And she had a really cool vibe about her. And she said that she spends a lot of time in Asheville, and you could kind of tell she had almost that Asheville vibe, which was, I thought she was a really cool person, and she did a really good job keeping everybody engaged.
Yeah, and there was kids all the way up to older people. Yeah, so it was good.
And one of the nice things too was it wasn't just her. Everybody was kind of helping each other along. You have to kind of nip off the bottom of the candle and stuff like that, and people were helping each other do that and stuff. It was cool.
And I messaged her after the fact to ask her who she got her stuff from, and she answered me right away.
Yeah. So, and that's, a lot of times that's how it is in these classes. If you have questions, they're more than willing to talk to you about it, and answer any questions. And then after the fact, the majority of the folks there, you can find on Instagram and stuff like that. So you can reach out, or they'll give you their contact information to be able to reach out and contact them and with questions and stuff. So it was really cool. The classes are awesome. the who are you working at?
Mhm.
The other thing I was gonna say is uh, that kind of ties in with um, where is it at down here? I thought I had it on here. Oh yeah, register early for the classes.
Mhm.
Those classes, they're awesome classes. So register early for the classes because they fill up fast. I wanted to take a wilderness first aid class with Grumpy Bushcraft, and as soon as we looked at it, it was full. It was too full for me to be able to take that class, and I really wanted to take that class. And I actually threatened Grumpy that I was just going to sneak into the class, which probably wouldn't have been a huge deal. But they put a cap on it for a reason, and that's, probably not the right thing to do. So I didn't do that. But yeah, that's something that you should do. So make sure if you see a class you want to take it, or sign up early. But take the classes. Um, they're great. There's so much fun to the classes. Um, another thing on the list: be ready to walk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of walking to do at Georgia Bushcraft. So even if you get a site that's closer to the vendors and to the event, you're going to do a lot of walking back and forth, up and down the aisles to the classes and things like that. So make sure you have good, comfortable shoes, unless you're me, which I was barefoot from Thursday till Sunday. Literally from Thursday to Sunday, I didn't have any shoes on, and it was funny. I had several people say um, on was it Sunday that it was raining?
Yeah.
I was walking around Sunday morning, and people were like, "Man, your feet aren't freezing. It's raining and it's cold." And, nah, I prefer to be barefoot. So
Hobbit feet.
yeah, I got hobbit feet. My feet got hair on them, so they're naturally they naturally warm themselves. Um, but speaking of the vendors, walking around the vendors and stuff, I jokingly say bring cash. Now, half jokingly, bring cash, because if you have a credit card walking around at Georgia Bushcraft, you could max that thing out. There is so many vendors and so much cool stuff at the event. So Sarah and I were kind of walking around because Sarah had decided that she was in the market for her first real like fixed blade knife. She wanted a nice fixed blade knife. And we walked around, and it was tough. It was tough to find.
Well, I'm picky.
So she wanted something that was feminine, but not hot pink feminine, not something that was going to be super, super feminine, but she wanted something that was a little more feminine. And was it Saturday afternoon or Sunday?
No, Saturday.
Saturday. We were walking, and I swear we had looked at every vendor there.
And there's about 50 different
knives. Yeah, I don't know how anybody
it's
that
like something knife.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody that sells knives there can make much money, because there are a ton of knife vendors. But that's awesome too, because like I said, we walked around, we looked at a ton of different knives and stuff, and she had kind of what she was looking for in style, in her head, size, and she knew what she didn't want. And she finally found one on Saturday afternoon. So this one came from Old Town Cutlery, and but it is the Yard Dog. Is that what the brand? Yard Dog, Gamecock.
Yep.
But this thing, really, really nice. The logo on there is cool. It's got the little dog logo on there. And just a really nice knife. It's got the micarta scales, and the little pins are like little mock wood micarta. Really, really, really nice knife. And it came with the little leather sheath that we'll have to kind of soak it and kind of wet mold it so it'll fit the knife better. And you wanted to do some stamping or something, right?
You want to try that?
So we're going to try to soak it and do some stamping or something on there. But that, I mean, it turned out so nice. And
it's all recycled stuff.
Yeah, so that was the cool thing about this too, is Sarah just kind of, stumbled across this one, but then the story of it is cool too. So we were talking to, and I wish I could remember the gentleman's name, but from Old Town Cutlery. And he said that this was actually his design, and the reason that they came up with this was because they had a lot of people that came in, wanted to buy a knife, but they weren't ready to spend $300 on a knife. And they were looking for something that was a little more budget friendly. So they actually came up with this knife. And this knife, let's see, the gentleman's name was Lee Tigner.
Had a very cute dog.
He had a very cute dog. So this is really cool because this is all recycled stuff, right down to the box, right down to the boxes. So the blade itself is saw steel. So all the saws that they use to cut everything, eventually the blades get dull, but the steel in the blade is still good. So they use that to make the blade itself. And then all the cutoffs from their other, like the bigger knives and stuff like that, that's where the micarta for the scales and stuff come from. So the whole knife itself, like I said, right down to the box and everything, is recycled. So the box is recycled, cut down from other boxes,
and it's made in the USA.
And it's made right here in the USA. So
from stuff in the USA.
Yeah, and so this knife ran right at about $100. And I mean, really, really nice knife. It's razor sharp, and it's got a cool story. And Sarah finally got her first real knife.
My big girl knife.
Her big girl knife. But yeah, that was cool, and I really loved the design of it, and I love the color of it and all that stuff.
It fits my hand good.
And on top of that, the blue matches her pistol.
Yeah.
So that was just a nice coincidence. So let's see, what do we got in comments before I move on?
They're talking about Tony. And saying hello to one another.
Okay.
Becca Wall, hello from Crockett, Texas. She likes my knife.
Very cool. Thanks for coming in from Texas. That's awesome.
And Tony, this is not your live stream.
Tony's getting.
I say that endearingly.
Tony's getting all the chats. No, that's awesome. We're glad to have Tony here. So
yes,
I was watching Tony's video earlier, and it was an awesome video. So if you didn't watch Tony's video, Random Adventures 2.0 from earlier this evening, you definitely should go back and watch it. It was really a lot of fun. So let's see, what have we got?
He said, "Sorry, I love your knife, Sarah."
No, it's all good. So the other thing I was going to say, because you're doing all the exercise there, bring plenty of drink and waters with you. So we thought we had plenty of drinks, and right there at the end of the toward the end of the trip, we were kind of starting to ration our drinks.
Yeah.
And they do have drinks for sale there, but they don't have like
not like a 12
like a 12 pack or anything like that. They have individual drinks, but they do have ice there, and that was nice. So
well, and we didn't need it, but they have like some little essential stuff in the store too.
Yeah, they do have the store, and they've got you know, like some little things of deodorant
Mhm.
and toothpaste and things like that that you would need there. But it was a lot of fun. Um, but like I said, the we kind of ran close to the end on drinks. Now we had plenty of water, but that's something just to think about. Bring a little more than you think you're going to use because you're going to be doing a lot of walking back and forth. And it was the
Miss Donna. Hello.
hey, Miss Donna. The uh first day, even Friday, it got pretty warm.
It was too hot.
It was pretty warm, so we were drinking a little more than you would normally do.
And I think this was the first time both of us have been camping 3 nights in a row.
Yeah.
So that was a little different.
That was a new one, yeah. So I've done it 3 nights in a row, but having both of us, it was we just didn't quite plan the drinks out as good as we should have. But that's something we learned, and that's okay. Another thing we learned: more raffle tickets equal more chances to win.
Yes.
And that's something that we actually heard people complain about, and so I mean, I understand a lot of times if you've ever been to one of these events, it seems like half the time it's the same handful of people running back and forth collecting prizes. And that can get a little frustrating until you look and see that the kid that's going to gather prizes has 8 foot of tickets floating behind him in the air as he's running up there. So
well, it's like you could have just bought something with that.
Yeah, with the money that you spent on the raffle tickets, you could have bought that knife. Unless you're Bodier, who wins all the nice knives.
I'm telling you.
But that's something that I was gonna say though, is that the more tickets you buy, the more chances you have to win.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you would battle that unless you just said, okay,
there's a cap.
Each person can only buy 5 tickets, but in the grand scheme of things, when you're selling tickets for a raffle, you're doing it to raise funds.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of want people to buy a bunch of tickets. So it's kind of a catch-22, but it's something you kind of got to understand that is what it is.
I think that's because like we're gonna do our raffle, but it's a much smaller event.
Right.
So, because I mean, it was hours for their raffle to sit there.
It was 3.5 hours or so of raffle, I bet. It was crazy, but there was a ton of super nice stuff too.
Yes, and that's the thing. I mean, yes, it took a while, but it was because people were generous and donated.
Right. Like tons of stuff. It was awesome.
And I think too, those people donated, so they wanted to give a little bit of recognition to them.
Right, absolutely.
Just, oh, here's this. Explain where it came from.
Right, and give them a little time, for donating and stuff, because, like LT Wright gave away, I don't know how many knives LT Wright gave away, and who was it? Condor, I think it was Condor, gave away a crap ton of machetes again. Like they have a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday raffle.
Yeah, we
didn't even do the Sunday raffle, but I mean, it's just they give away a ton of stuff. So it was really, really cool to see. But like I said, if you want more chances to win, you got to buy more raffle tickets, and that's just how it is. I mean, I think, you can't. It's hard to get too upset with people that are buying the tickets for more chances to win.
Well, I think it's kind of the difference too.
Miss Donna said
she's got to go.
Got to go watch when I get home. All right,
she's
love you.
Working.
Thanks for working to fund your trip to Wyld Camp.
I think a lot of it is first time people versus people who have been there before.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you've done it, you know what to expect.
Yeah.
And it's because it's the same thing.
And this time, if I'm not mistaken, I heard them say that they had 300 or plus more registered this year than they had last year.
It was a lot.
So that's a lot of new people that came and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's like when you sit down for a raffle and you haven't done it before, and you're not thinking you're going to be there for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I mean, like I said, great raffle, great group of guys,
And it's
and Matt
entertaining.
Matt is a very good MC. Matt Gillenwater is a very good MC. They do make it fun too. Um, which that's something that we need to
We need an
try to find.
MC.
We need an MC to MC the raffle. Somebody better than me, because I definitely am not the MC for the job. So we'll have to see if we can round up somebody. So this is one that I picked up on. That's just something that I think, and it's something, this is, I've been to a few of these now, and it's something that I think that you should do. So be friendly, say hi, introduce yourself to people. So,
Are you talking to me?
no, I know Sarah. Sarah's not the most people person out there. She, it can be a lot real peoply for her sometimes.
Yes.
But there were a lot of cool people, and I've met a lot of people throughout my time to this event has become, for me, very much like a family reunion. It's friends that I've made that I haven't seen since last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I've made these friends and I see them online and stuff. But we met folks who invited us to go to their campfire, and we sat at their campfire and laughed and joked and had a great time, and just so much fun. And just walking around and meeting new people, meet the vendors, talk to the vendors. These people are more than just the products they're selling. There were people there from like Miss Heather and the P&W Bushcraft people. They're from the Pacific Northwest. You got people there from Texas. There were people there from Seattle. There were people, I mean, all over the country. And it was just a great group of people. You really need to it's not that hard. Just say hi. Just introduce yourself. Hey, I'm your neighbor right next to you where you're camping. And it was just, for me, it has become that. It's not just the classes and stuff. It's meeting those people that have that same interest, and making some really good friends along the way. So for me, that's another one of the things that I would say is just say hi, introduce yourself to people, and make some new friends. It's never hurts anything. But okay, so this one is something I'm going to put out there from Sarah. Bring extra TP. So that's something that she said when I was writing my list for Instagram, because sometimes you can go and there won't be any in the porta potty. They were actually really good.
They were. I mean, they were like actively putting it out and cleaning,
like constantly cleaning and making sure.
People are nasty.
People are nasty. Like somebody pooped on the toilet instead of in the toilet. Can't be an accident. They did it on purpose. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So I won't spend too much time on that. Just bring extra TP just in case. And another thing is look around at other people's setups. When you introduce yourself to them, look at their setups. See what they've got that you might be able to use, or get some ideas from what they're doing. We had people stop by and look at our setup and really like what we had. So, I mean, that's something I would definitely say. Look around at other people's setups, get some ideas, see what they're using. We saw an awesome BioLite stove fire pit thing that had a built-in fan. Incredible. It's on my list of things to buy. Very, very cool. So that's something.
You don't have a credit card.
That's why I don't have the credit card. That's right. So Skeeter's in the house. Hey, buddy, how you doing? And the last thing I will say on this list is don't bring a dog and tie it up and just leave it there. We don't have a problem with dogs, we
No.
love dogs. But, you know, if you have an aggressive dog, don't take it to an event like that and just tie it up so it, you know, growls and barks nonstop while you're gone. It really just affects the event for other people.
Yes.
And it just...
We don't have a problem with doggies.
Yeah, we don't have a problem with doggies. This little dog was so excited when we came home. But
she's like her mama, she's not a people person.
But yeah, so we couldn't take her because she would bark and stuff. And
I mean, 98% of the people had dogs and they were great. There was one young man that sat next to me with his dog, super, super sweet. But we just had someone near us that had a dog that while they were off doing everything else, the dog was just tied up miserable.
Yep, and just growling. Every dog that walked by was lunging. And so it was not the best situation for that dog.
Yeah.
And so that's the last thing I would say. If you have a dog like that, and you're not going to be able to take it with you when you leave your camp, maybe not bring the dog.
And they say that too.
Yeah, it says that in the event that you can't do that. Yeah. So it was just, it was unfortunate that somebody had that set up.
Yeah.
But that was just, it's one of those things. So don't do that. But that was our after action report for Georgia Bushcraft. So those were kind of the takeaways that I think some people that maybe have never been there may not think about so much. And I thought that I wanted to go ahead and just mention those things and kind of talk about them a little bit. So after Georgia Bushcraft, Sarah and I took off and headed up the mountain to Fort Mountain State Park. And on the way, we did some of our stops. We stopped in Helen, Georgia at Nora Mill, one of our favorite places to stop. We made it to Amicalola Falls, which was on my to-do list of things to do. If you're not familiar with that, that's where the approach trail starts to go up to begin the AT. And we went up to the lodge and checked it out. Absolutely beautiful spot. Just absolutely gorgeous. So that was like I said, that was on my to do list. So I wanted to, if you haven't seen A Walk in the Woods with Robert Redford, it's a great movie.
You should watch it.
You should watch it. And if it doesn't make you want to hike the AT, I don't know what will. It's a fun movie. But I really wanted to go into the dining room and get the pancakes, but Sarah kind of pulled me out and said, "Hey, I don't think it's closed. I don't think you're supposed to be in there." So I really wanted to go do that, but
I don't know. I want to watch that movie again.
Yeah. So I mean, it was cool. An absolutely gorgeous view off of the back of it. Like I swear, who knows how far you can see off of the back of that thing, but it's absolutely beautiful. But I think so. Along with the Georgia Bushcraft thing, we were at Amicalola last year in Helen, Georgia.
Both good places.
That's funny, yeah. Both awesome places. So, a couple of the things that I wanted to say that we used at Georgia Bushcraft and on our other trip, Sarah picked out a couple of things. And one of the things that she found were these body wash wipes. These body wipes. And these are 10 by 10. So I know a lot of people get the dude wipes in the big packages. And a lot of times you don't end up using all of them. And so they end up drying out and things like that. These are individual packages. These are 10 by 10. They're huge. And these work really, really well. So if you're on a little backpacking trip for a few days and you don't want to carry a big, huge pack of wipes and stuff like that just to wipe down with and clean up at the end of the day, these worked out really, really well. I know I used a few of them just in the evenings. especially after you've been walking around and
And it was
sweating and
warm.
stuff, and it was warm.
Yeah.
These made getting in the hammock a lot easier for me in the evenings.
And they don't leave like a residue where
Yeah.
you feel kind of yucky
Like,
or
or sticky and
they're wet enough that it's not like it dries out halfway.
right.
And I was just pulling it up on Amazon right now. The 20-pack is $14, and there's a 25% off coupon, so less than 70 cents a piece.
So definitely more than what you would use at the dude wipes, but I think the fact that they're individually wrapped makes them worth it. I seen Randy Beeson said the solar gravity shower. That's definitely on the list of things that I would like to get, but we only have so much room to carry stuff. Yeah. So
Sorry,
whereas Sarah has pared down very well a lot of the stuff she takes. I don't even know if it's a word, but I have paired up with stuff that I take. Like,
gear.
I have a lot of gear that I like to have backup gear because, for one thing, I wasn't sure when we got up to Fort Mountain State Park if I was going to be able to use that setup that we had with the SUV tent, and because I didn't know how we were going to drive stakes. That's something I was really a little concerned about, and it wasn't easy. It was a chore to drive those stakes, but we got it done, and it worked out freaking awesome. So that won't be the next video. The Georgia Bushcraft video, I'm going to work on editing that. It's going to be a good video. It's going to be a long video, I think. I don't want to break it up into 2 videos because they don't typically do that well. So it's going to be a little longer video. So it will be after the Georgia Bushcraft video. But I'll just tell you this. The last night that we were up in the mountains, well, let me just tell you this. I had a dream that a tornado sucked me up out of my hammock and dropped me. That's how bad the wind was. So it was really, really bad, but you'll have to kind of watch that in the video. That'll be coming up soon. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about, will you grab the your medicine thing down there?
Oh, I didn't know you were talking about that.
So Sarah got this thing. Where did you get this from? It was the dollar store, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a your regular pill container, right? It's your just all your pill containers. But this was such a good idea.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. So you'll have to watch the Georgia Bushcraft video because there's something in that video for you. So you'll have to watch it. And Lincoln. But yeah, so Sarah had this all kind of broke up into different meds. Like this is the sleeping med. There's cough medicine here. There's allergy medicine, antihistamines.
Yeah, I just cut the little label off or whatever for what it was and taped it on there, or I just wrote it.
Yeah, see, you can see it. She just cut it off and taped it on there.
Room for 14 different things.
14 different medicines, and it packed up in this little container, and it worked out really, really, really well.
Very useful.
Aaron said, "Oh, I'll let you know. He'll be very excited." So, yeah, it's going to be cool. You guys are going to enjoy it. And so let's get into a few of the goodies. I know we've already got you for 40 minutes so far. So some of the goodies we got from Georgia Bushcraft. Let me, I'll be right back.
Oh, dear. Your book.
Sorry about that. So at Wyld Camp, I'm going to be doing a What to Do If You're Lost in the Woods for Kids book. Or, no. What to Do If You're Lost in the Woods for Kids class. And so what we're going to do is we're going to give each of the kids that are in that class a raffle ticket. And when we do the raffle, we're going to raffle off this book by Craig Caudle, The Secret The Secret Signs of Nature. And this is Craig's children's book. And Craig was nice enough to sign the book for us.
Very nice gentleman.
Yep, very, very nice. And this book is awesome. So not only is this book good for kids, this book is good for the parents too. There's a ton of information in this book. And just like, it's a
nice.
very, very nice book. And Craig is an awesome guy. And he was really, really happy when I told him that I wanted to do this. So it was very nice of him to give us the book and let us sign it. And sign it for us.
I guess we can give a spoiler for what we got, Daddy.
Yep. Spoiler alert, Greg. So we stopped by the Crystal Creek Gear tent. And we picked up Greg a... these guys have really cool little kits. So the Crystal Creek Gear, it comes in a box like this. And so they have 4 different of these little kits. It's like fresh, like river, lake, freshwater, saltwater, or something.
And they have like a first aid one.
And a first aid one, yeah. And so this is a little hand line. You can hold that, cast it. It's a little hand line kit. And along with that, in this kit, this comes, let's see. I may not be smart enough to do that. Oh, it slides open and it's got some hooks in there. Those are weighted hooks. And it also has some bobbers and some little rubber worms and things like that.
And there's room for more.
And there's room for more stuff in there, which is really cool. And they have some really, really nice stuff.
Yeah, and then they also gave us a couple extra, the hand lines.
Yep.
And they may be a raffle sponsor for Wyld Camp this year.
Yep. So we're gonna have to contact them. He said he would love to do it. It just kind of depends on whether or not we can get it done in time.
Yeah. The little, I assume it was his daughter, little girl from that.
Yeah.
Was in my candle making class.
That's right. She was in the candle making class. So that was a cool thing.
That's soap.
Sarah got some soap from a vendor there. So we met Zach Fowler and Greg Ovens there, which was really cool. Super nice guys. And it was really cool to meet them. So we got us some Wadobo. We'll try that from the wooded weird. This is the wooded beardsman.
The wooded weirdsman.
Sarah wants to call him the wooded weirdsman all the time.
It just came out that way one time and it stuck.
It stuck. So we got some Wadobo and then all kinds of little goodies. So this was the Grim Workshop keychain. And then we got, when we got the, I think when we got the book, maybe it was the book, I can't remember. But Craig gave us one of these cards with the free online course, which was really cool.
That's the people with the little real thing.
So, Crystal Creek Gear, we got the, Kevin is the one that's gonna, will contact about the, possibly doing the, prize sponsor.
Yeah.
Then we got our patch, the 2024 Fall Gathering, which is cool. Sarah got her a shirt from Jack's at Wild Card Wilderness, and she gave us some stickers, and those stickers are pretty cool. Look at that. That is so awesome. Holographic. I'm going to save this for just a second, because I'm going to fanboy just a second.
That's pretty
that's
much
about all that's in there.
Yeah.
There was another thing that I saw in there. There's a little card.
Card.
Yep, it was like a 25% off card.
I don't know, there's a lot.
Where did it go? There's all kind of stuff in here. But, also,
yeah.
I'm now a member of the Joe Flowers fan club. I got me a big pin to wear, which was cool.
I know between the stuff we got, like souvenirs, and then
when you got,
Oh, yeah,
So when
Band-Aids.
Sarah got her knife, she got this Band-Aid dispenser too, which I thought was pretty funny.
Good idea.
Somewhere in here, there is a. Somewhere in here, yeah, we'll save that one. That's another surprise for Aaron. We can't show. There's a card anyway that they gave for Grim Survival. No, I'm sorry, for Wazoo. It's their it's a fire card, the Wazoo fire card. But on the back of it, there was a 25% off coupon on the fire card. That is it's freaking cool. So, not only can you use the 25% off, then the card itself is a fire card you can use it to start fires with. Well, so really it was a very thoughtful way to do that.
Well, and last year, remember, you got your necklace and you were going to buy it, and the guy was like, "Oh, make sure you use the coupon in the bag."
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have known. But he made sure we knew that there was a coupon to use.
Right. So very, very cool. Lots of goodies and stuff this year. So what do we got? Are we missing anything?
Skeeter, when is the next hammock hang in Pennsylvania?
Oh,
that's
he must be. He's talking with Tony again. Mm-hmm. So now let me tell you something. I was walking around, and I'm a fan of dystopian books, end of the world kind of stuff, EMPs. You guys know that. I've already talked about that. I was walking around, and I saw Mel, the wife of Angry American, the author of my favorite series, the Going Home series. And I was like fanboy, and like, oh my God. And then I seen Chris. And I was like, Chris, of course I was like, Chris. And I know it came out, Chris. But
it started going in slow motion.
Yeah, it was like, as I was running over there, it was like I was running through like flowers and stuff. But very, very cool people. It was really awesome. So, I was like, hey, I love your books and all that stuff. And I was like, we're going to be having an event in December in Umatilla. And I just happen to know, not because I'm stalking him, but I just happen to know that they live in Umatilla. And before I could get the words out of my mouth, him and Mel both said, we'll be there. We'll go. Just tell us where we need to be. We'll bring the Hummer, set it all up, and we'll talk, or we'll do a class, or whatever you want us to do. Super, super, super awesome. Virginia Bushcrafter. I think I seen you at Georgia Bushcraft. Very awesome. So Chris Weatherman, Angry American, the author of the Going Home series, and his wife Mel are going to be at Wyld Camp. And I cannot be any more excited about that. It really blew my mind how awesome they were and how willing they were to just, we're there. We'll be there. So I can't tell you how excited I am about that.
And I think you came back into the tent glowing.
Yeah, I kind of, like, if you can imagine, I kind of jogged back. Well, jogg's probably a strong word. I made my way back to the tent, and I was really excited anyway. Virginia Bushcrafter said, yep, I was there, looking forward to the next meetup. Very, very cool. So I was really, really excited about that, and it just, I don't know. I was very, very impressed with how nice they were. Now, speaking of Wyld Camp, Sarah and I were a little worried because there were rumors that the campground was closed due to hurricane damage.
It says it online.
It says it online. And we were very worried about that. And so today, we wanted to make sure everything was good. And we called around to check it out. And today, we found out we're all good. Mm-hmm. Everything's good. Sarah called and they said, yep, we're good to go. Everything's perfect. We're on schedule where it'll be just right. So,
Randy Beeson said that he heard Sean Kelly was there, Creek Camper, and Blackie.
Yep. So they were all there. EJ Snyder was there from Naked and Afraid. He was there. I got to spend some time with our buddy Andy Wildlander, who will also be at Wyld Camp. Trying to think who else was there. Carly Fairchild was there from Malone. Madison Poole, Bombproof Bushcraft was there. There was
the first season of Alone Guy.
Oh, Alan Kay was walking around there. The Alone first season champion. He was there. There was so many people there that if this is the genre, or if this is the kind of thing that you're into, you really need to make it to Georgia Bushcraft. There are a lot of the people that we watch, that we see, are there to actually meet in person. And it's actually, I know for a lot of people, it may not be that big a deal, but for me, it is, because these are the people that I kind of look up to and stuff like that. So it was really there. Bodier said literally everyone was there. Yeah, I mean, really a lot.
Lincoln says he doesn't know why Uncle Sean likes to go camping all the time.
Well, we'll have to take you camping, and then you'll know why. Oh yeah, so Annette took a class from Carly last time. I want
to do that basket course, but it was full.
It was full. Everything, it fills up so fast. Like this year, there was the actual Stop the Bleed certification class you could take. It was expensive. It was $225, but it was a certification class. I mean,
it had the kit or whatever.
Yeah, it came with the kit and everything. So really, really cool. So if you didn't get tickets to Wyld Camp, we had sold out, and we had people that were still wanting tickets. And so we did something that we said we weren't going to do, but we have added some more tickets. So we do have more tickets available now, but we won't be adding any more. This is absolutely the most tickets that I want to sell.
Well, and we did that because the venue holds a certain amount, but we don't want it to be crowded, and we don't want it to be so many people that...
I don't want it to be so many people that I can't get around and talk to everybody. I don't want it to click up.
Right. So we had set a cap, so we just extended it somewhat. So it's still going to be well under capacity. There'll be plenty of room, but we did want to open it up to some more people. Yeah. And we've got more people coming, like Andy and your author guy and everything.
My author guy, Angry American. Yeah. But yeah, so there are tickets available.
But just I don't think that it's going to be crammed in there for camping or anything.
It's not gonna be crammed. Now, shirts, t-shirts. If you want the Wyld Camp t-shirts, you need to jump on our Crowd-Made store and get that, because it takes about 2 weeks to get them. And we need...
Hold this down. Oh, you got it tucked in.
Yeah. All these muscles I got. We got the Wyld Camp t-shirts right here. Pulling my clothes off of me. We got the Wyld Camp t-shirts, and they turned out awesome.
And that's only one style.
Yeah, and this is only one of them. So Sarah made a hoodie design for the ladies too, a Mama Bear shirt. So that one's turned out pretty cool. I think Hammock Mountain said he's got to run.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking in with us, and I hope you have a good evening. So yeah, if you want a t-shirt, it takes about 2 weeks to get them, so you need to get them pretty quick. Now, we will have, Sarah got us some little fancy merch stuff that will be available there too. There will be regular lanyards
Yeah, your ticket comes with
your
a lanyard.
ticket will come with a lanyard. But she also got these Rewild Outdoors printed lanyards that you can get.
That'll be for sale.
That'll be for sale. They won't be super expensive, but they'll be for sale. Sorry, correction, that y'all are at it. What is it?
Aaron and Linky said that they're about to go to bed, but Linky wants to say that Aunt Sarah and Uncle Sean are awesome.
Oh, okay.
And that we're the best.
Oh, very cool.
Good night, Lincoln.
Good night, Lincoln. So, along with these lanyards, we have Rewild Outdoors bracelets, and these are debossed or embossed?
Debossed.
Debossed. So it has the Rewild Outdoors cut into it with the color.
And we have 3 different sizes.
3 different sizes of those. And then we have the Rewild Outdoors Wyld Camp koozies. So these things are really cool too. And then we got some Ben the Bear pins. And then some Mama Bear pins.
Which is the design on the hoodie. Or the jacket.
That's the same design on the jacket. So, very, very cool stuff.
So we'll have a little Rewild store this time.
Yep, we'll have a little Rewild store. And I think we're going to have some of the, also some things that you may forget. Also there that you could get just in case, some little stuff. So,
yeah, toothpaste.
Toothpaste, yeah, that sort of thing. So, I think we've already had you guys for right at an hour.
Blackie.
Oh, guys, I need to tell you something. So, if you haven't seen it yet, our buddy Blackie Thomas has suffered a stroke, and it's a mild stroke, and they said that he is actually recovering pretty well. If you can, with a stroke, the cost is going to be astronomical. Sarah put a link in the description for the GoFundMe for Blackie's GoFundMe. If all of us could just jump in and give $5, a minimum of $5, it would go a long way. There's 3,000 of us. That's a lot of money if everybody would jump in and just give $5 or give what you can. Blackie has done so much for the community and so much for me. I mean, just to chat with me and talk with me and teach me stuff. And just such a great guy. So please, if you can, reach out, do the GoFundMe thing. Thoughts and prayers absolutely for Blackie. We're praying for him and we love him. And Miss Hope, I know that Miss Hope, Blackie's wife, they all need all those prayers. So we really, really hope if you can, hit that link. I'll put a link in the description as well. Go over there and give what you can for Blackie. He gives so much to everybody else just freely. And
I looked at it too earlier. You can do no extra fees, so it's just flat out $5. You can pay the fees, and it was like 96 cents or something for $5.
Yeah.
I know that the GoFundMe is, for lack of a better term, popular right now, but we used it several years ago when my dad was diagnosed with cancer, and just that mental load that is off of you to know that a little bit of that financial burden is gone.
Yeah.
Made a difference to our family.
Yeah. So if you can, please go over there and help Blackie and Miss Hope out. It would mean a world to me, and I know it would mean the world to them. So I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. That's going to be, that's going to wrap us up for tonight. I think we covered everything we want to cover. I'm going to edit that video, and we'll have an awesome video for you next week. And if you are interested, jump down to the link. I'll leave a link for the Wyld Camp also down there. And I hope to see you there. Please jump over there to that GoFundMe and send Blackie some love. So, I hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you next Thursday.